Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. So today we're going to look at the central of the Algarve, and we've got John, who's in a development called Amendoeira, and then we've got Steve down at the beach, at the closest beach to the development, and then we've got Sasha as well, who's going to be answering some questions too. So just a little bit about the centre of the Algarve. Quite a lively place. We've got the main areas are like Albufeira, Corvero. There's quite a few nice little fishing villages down there. I live 25 minutes inland from the ocean, right in the centre, and absolutely love it. I think it's a great place to live. I live in the countryside with the Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese, and my neighbours find it quite funny, and they have joined me in part of the community, and we have a really good time. A lot of charades, but mostly they all speak English, so we get by. So I'm going to pass you over now to John, and John's going to tell you about the development in Amendoeira.
Hi, my audio went down. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Delightful sunny day. I'm in Amendoeira, which is just north of Armação de Pêra, in Ancatarilla. Distance-wise to the beach is less than 7 kilometres, 10 minutes by car. The resort itself offers so much here, even to the fact that in the summer months, if you want it for yourself or rentals, you can actually use the free shuttle bus. There's 3 buses here. That's part of the resort's complex. They will run you around. And there's so much to see and so much to do here. I'm going to start off with a 2-bedroom, furnished, ready to go apartment. Quite honestly, when you get inside, it's pretty special. I'm in the courtyard at the moment, and they're in blocks of 4. And I'll switch the camera over so you can see better now as I walk through into the apartment. And you'll see the lovely entrance hallway. You've got orange trees, fig trees. Even the smell is amazing. You've got a wild garden at the moment. Absolutely beautiful. The style of the properties are very much Moorish. So the colours blend into the hillside, and you have through there to the entrance hall.
John, are you there?
You've got garden areas and a pool. This is the living dining room area, fully fitted, as I say, with the settees, the chairs, the dining table, the lighting, 2 air conditioning units, and then the beautiful kitchen. Kitchen open plan onto the dining room, fully fitted with ceramic hob, granite siltstone worktops, and even in the morning, this has got a great design. When you step out of the bedroom, wherever you are first thing in the morning from the kitchen, you can walk out onto this terrace, and this gets a very early morning sun in amongst all the lovely gardens. So this is your own private terrace at the front of the building. That door there goes to one of the bedrooms, and then back into the kitchen. Fully fitted with oven, microwave, fridge, freezer, washing machine, sink unit, everything, even the fitments of the food processor, the toaster, the kettle, even down to the nth degree. You open the kitchen drawer, and what do you get? A full set of cutlery. There isn't a thing you need to do to move into this actual property.
Sorry, John, but no one can see the screen. It's just stuck on the living room. There we go. Sorted. Yeah.
Right. Did you see the kitchen at all? No. So just run through.
No, I'd say do it all again.
Sorry. This is the kitchen going back to front, fully fitted, modern siltstone worktops, even a granite sink, oven, microwave, dishwasher, washing machine.
Sorry, it stopped again. Yeah, a couple of people have said they're seeing the same as us. I think when you click on the screen, it makes it go in again, so I can see it now.
Can you see it now? It may be because of the Wi-Fi or the internet connection here, but
yeah.
So, is that better?
It's frozen. Yeah, it's coming on and off.
Right, let me go outside to the garden areas and see if that works even better.
Yeah.
Now, I'm walking out to the garden areas. This is your own private deck terrace area with your own dining table, Again, the dining table is included. This is your outside space. Hedge, bougainvillea, oleander, all the way along the edges there. And it's south facing. And the great thing about this particular apartment is I'll walk through the gardens and you can actually get direct access to the communal pool. And I don't know if you can see, this is the pool area coming up. And these are the gardens.
Sorry, no, we can't see.
No?
No, a couple of people are saying it's not working.
Can we hand back to Steve and I'll check and see if I can get onto the
yeah, I can provide a brochure, and we can, I think if we do a video of the apartment and then we can send it to everyone on a link, that would be good. Yeah.
We'll come. Yeah.
I'll join everyone down at the gym centre and the 3-bedroom villa as well. So I'll hand it back to you and you can go back to Steve. All right.
Okay, thanks, John. See you in a bit.
Bye,
Okay,
bye.
so bye. Steve, we're going to pass over to you. This is the nearest beach to Amendoeira. So Steve's going to show us the beach and what it's like there right now, and you'll see it's very, very fun. So Steve, are you there?
And he's upside down. Yeah, that's John upside down. Oh, there he is.
Steve, you need to unmute.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, everybody. This is Steve. I hope you can see the beach. This is Armação de Pêra. I'm very pleased to say I actually live here. This is my home. I live halfway between the beach and Amendoeira golf course, which is where John is at the moment. This is a stunning, magnificent 8-kilometer beach. Very popular with families and groups. And it's hugely popular with the Portuguese in August. This is one of the first resorts that was set up as a holiday destination for the Portuguese who had affluence or within Salazar's regime back in the 60s and the 70s. So generation by generation, all the apartments that you see in and around the area have all been passed down. So it's 95% Portuguese here in August. There's a 7,000 permanent population made up of an international group of expatriates. A number of Portuguese migrants have returned from France and Brazil and Canada and made their home here. This was one of my father's favorite places because the resort is flat. We have a 3-kilometer promenade and an 8-kilometer beach. It's one of the very last remaining beaches throughout the Algarve where the fishermen still actually leave the beaches out into the sea from the beach itself. So it has a plethora of bars, cafes and restaurants. And it has a great feel if you wanted to immerse yourself into Algarvian or Portuguese culture. It's a tremendous way to do it. You can have a 3-course meal for €5, or if you can go to the far end of the beach, I don't know if you can see in the far distance, there's a little white chapel. That's the smallest church in Portugal. It's a patron saint of the fishermen of Armação de Pêra. Just in that cove there's a hotel called Villa Vita Park, which has 11 restaurants, 2 of which are Michelin starred. So you can dine for as cheap as €5, or if you want to go bananas like my wife does, you can spend about £1,000 on a glass of water. Obviously I don't go there, but that's where the Beckhams go, or as my mother calls them, Diane Vicky. So it has a tremendous cross-section of people that come here. I'm very, very happy living here. This is my home. It's beautiful. I hope you can see it. Hello?
Hi, Steve. Yeah, I like it, especially because of the, I go in the fishermen's boats, just go down to the beach anytime and ask them to take me into caves. About €20, you get just you and the fisherman, and he fishes inside the caves and everything. It's a really, really good day out. And he always says that you can come at any time and I'll take you and your friends to a beach where nobody can get to only by boat, and then I'll pick you up later so you can have picnics. I mean, Portuguese are really good like that. Look for anything to help you out and make sure you have a good time, don't you think?
Absolutely, yeah. Can you hear me now, Ange?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if you look in the far distance, this is the eastern side of Armação Beach. This goes all the way to Praia de Gale, and at the very tip of the point just around the corner you have Albufeira. So you're very central and very close. The airport's about 30 minutes drive, 20 minutes if I'm driving, an hour if the wife is driving. You can drive 20 minutes inland, and literally the way of life and the pace of life's unchanged for the last 50, 60 years. So Central Algarve and the Algarve in general has managed to retain its culture, its tradition, but also its very welcoming, welcome to all people of all nationalities. Most of the people that you see on the beach are Portuguese, all enjoying it, all followed the social distancing. Masks are compulsory in supermarkets. It's been followed religiously by the Portuguese, which is why we've only had 16 deaths in the Algarve with a population of a couple of 100,000. So the Portuguese in general have played an absolute blinder in taking care of their own population. There was no partisan politics. The government and all the opposition parties got together and worked as one, and the country responded and worked as one together. So you'll see a lot of people and a lot of questionnaires and surveys saying that Portugal is a safe place to come to. It is in terms of crime, it's very low, and in terms of the population working together, it's unquestionably one of the best places I've ever been to, and this is delightful. As you probably know, football is religiously followed here. They're very, very devout. I myself have followed the second most widely covered sport in Portugal, which is cycling. Only I do it the expat way and cycle to the bar.
I did wonder
That's
about
my
your
new
gloves.
machine. Yes, my wife likes to use these, but I keep them for marigolds.
Also, a lot of dolphins out there. If you go out on a boat, you see a lot of dolphins.
Yeah, I did it for my birthday last year. Went to Albufeira, watched the dolphins. It was very nice. There was loads of them, and they were doing swimming next to each other, doing a dancing for us. It was cute.
Okay, so have you got any questions to be answered?
How's John doing?
I think John is up and running again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I've managed to get onto the high-speed Wi-Fi network.
Nice.
Is that better?
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Well, shall I run through very quickly where I am in this two-bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful apartment, obviously. Fully furnished, ready to go, fully fitted kitchen, everything you want, washing machine, dishwasher, granite sink, tops everywhere, knives and cutlery, food processors, toasters, kettles. There's not a thing you need to buy. Open plan lounge, dining room, air conditioning, 2 air conditioning units, underfloor heating throughout this apartment. I said it's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Both bathrooms are fully fitted. Shower cubicles into this one. You can see that there, all modern high tech. And then this goes into the back bedroom, which is south facing, sunny in the morning first thing, and the other side is south facing. So you get the sun in the morning on this one and sun all day at the front. All sliding fitted wardrobe, cherry beech wood, even the doors, save space. They're designed with sliding doors, so you literally slide the doors into the framework of the wood. And this goes into the master bedroom with the ensuite bathroom, this one. Again, a sunken bath, shower screen, bidet and toilet, and then out to into the bedroom, and you have your own terrace walking out onto the gardens in the morning. As I say, the sun all day long, and you've got the partial views of the golf course just over this bit here, and the communal pool. I did do a walk around of the communal pool, but this is the 2-bedroom, ready to go, fully furnished, on the market at the moment, and it's 290,000 euros. And as I said, that's ready to go. Rental, if anybody's thinking about rental on this, to give a rough figure, in this summer, August, this will go out at about 280, 86, I believe it is, a night. So great rental returns in the summer. We're very close to Armação, where Steve is, with the sun shining down there. And the annual condo fee on this is €3,000 a year. But in the condo fee, that gives you 24-hour security. It's a gated community, so that's great. 27-hole golf course. 36 golf course.
John?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm going to show you this. Now I'm going to go down to the sports bar while I hand over back to the office, and then I'll show you a beautiful 3-bedroom villa.
Sorry, John, could you go over what's included in the condominium fees again?
So the condominium fee, it covers all the security here, 24 hours. You've got high fibre optic cable Wi-Fi that I've got onto at long last. You've got 3 courtesy buses that will take you down in the summer to the beach at Armação, Pêra, which is 7 kilometres away. There isn't anything. All the gardens are cared for, the pools are cared for. There's 2 communal pools here. There's not a thing you need to do. So $3,000 a year for the 2-bedroom condominium, and that gives you internet TV as well. So you've got internet television, and there's a mixture here of different types of people. Lots of avid golfers, but there's also people that live here permanently and don't even play golf. But there's tennis courts, there's a sports centre, sports bar, fabulous clubhouse, and I hope to be showing you all that very, very shortly. So if I hand you back to Angela, Charlie, and I'll run down to the sports bar and I'll join you down there. Yeah?
Excellent. Thank you, John. We'll see you soon. Have we got any questions from anybody that they'd like to put on chat for the moment while we're looking for John? And Sasha, would you like to add anything that you would like to put there? If you unmute.
Yeah, I mean, Amendoeira Resort, I think, is very good value for money in terms of what you're getting for. So you're getting a fully kitted out, modern contemporary open plan property for 290,000, and that is in a luxurious development with 36 holes, you know, beautiful clubhouse, gymnasium, lots of sports facilities, beautiful gardens. Even though the condominium fees superficially seem to be quite high, it literally does include everything, including contents insurance, buildings insurance, telephone, internet, maintenance with a sinking fund for renovation every 5 years. So it's sort of ready to go, and 30 minutes from Pêra Airport and 7 minutes to the beach. So it's a great place for people that are looking to chill out, who are interested in playing golf. The condominium fee doesn't include golf itself, but there are lots of golfing packages available. If you're a serious golfer or a casual golfer, there are lots of sort of discount packages available. It's great for the rental side. If you want to rent it out, you would use the resort to do that. They've got a very mature sort of rental program going, and you would just simply hand it over to them, and they'll look after the whole program for you. So it's a great place. It's a great place, and it's worth investigating a little bit further. And Charlie obviously can send you floor plans, and John can do a sort of more in-depth video, and then of course we can go from there and provide you with finer details. And there are lots of units available for sale. In fact, in terms of the 2-bedroom properties, there are sort of 2 types of layouts for the 2-bedroom properties. So we can send you the floor plans for that. Also, John is going to be showing you a 3-bedroom villa. There are, clusters of villas, clusters of 2-bedroom apartments, which are all based on the ground floor around the €290,000 mark. And there are in fact also 3-bedroom apartments on the first floor with a duplex. So it's on 2 levels, on the first floor and the second floor with a roof terrace. And those are going around 370, 380,000. So depending on what your budget is, what they're looking for is sort of a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom private villa with pool. You know, there's lots of options there for you. So that's basically Amendoeira. Over to you, Angela.
Thank you, Sasha. Thank you. We're just waiting for John to see if he's got down to the communal area yet. I think he's going to show us, because there's a lot of things that you can do there. There's not only, I know there's like football and tennis, there's a lot of areas to do recreational things. And the grounds are really, really beautiful. You can see it, the views from everywhere is really, really nice. So Steve, have you got anything?
Can we just go through some of these questions?
I've got some questions, okay.
So I think you mentioned just now that a 3-bed is going to cost you about 370 to 380. So
Correct.
The 2 beds are about 290. Obviously, John said that you can rent it out for close to 300 a night, 200 or something a night. Do you know what the average annual rental would be, or what you can bring in per week during the summer?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't. You know, we have to drill down a little bit further with the resort on that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not sort of quote anything specific about that. But
Yeah.
Obviously we can get some figures together for anybody interested and show you the kinds of rental income that you're going to be able to generate.
Yeah, we can get a simulation done.
Yeah.
Would you like to go through the buying process if someone wants to purchase one, please, Sasha?
Sure. So obviously the first thing to do is select a particular unit. These are priced to sell, so there isn't any negotiation on the price. They're already sort of priced very competitive. So once you've selected a particular unit that you are interested in buying, then you would need to you know, instruct a lawyer to represent you in the buying process. We have a network of lawyers that we could recommend for you, but you obviously can use any lawyer you want. You can source your own lawyer. What would then happen is that you would put down a refundable €6,000 reservation, which would go into your lawyer's client holding account, and that would hold the property temporarily for a couple of weeks whilst your lawyer did the due diligence on the property. The due diligence process in Portugal is a very simple, very black and white process. All of the documentation relating to the property is on file at the resort. So your lawyer would simply collect that paperwork from the lawyer, which would be emailed over to him. He would review that documentation, and that documentation tells him everything he needs to know about that property, providing everything is as it should be. And we have sold probably a dozen properties in the resort, so we have a good relationship. We know the paperwork. This is a very simple, fast, black and white process. Your lawyer would then draft a promissory contract. Promissory contract is basically a contract which details in full the purchase price that you're putting down, that you're purchasing the property for, the deposit that you're going to be putting down, which can vary between 10 and 30%, all itemized list of all the things that you're buying with the property, all the furniture and so on. That is handed over to you. That is in English and Portuguese, paragraph by paragraph, side by side. Portuguese is necessary to appear in the contract. English isn't, but we do it in English as well, obviously, so you can review exactly what's being said in the contract. Once you're okay with that, it's then handed over to the developer side for them to approve that contract. Once you both agree in principle that the contract is fine, it's at that point that you would then send over the deposit amount, whatever has been agreed, minus the €6,000, which has been sitting in your lawyer's client holding account, which will then form part of that deposit amount. And then you can give your lawyer written express permission to sign the contract on your behalf and hand over the money. So for this stage of the process, your lawyer doesn't need to have power of attorney, though you could have provided to him by now. But he doesn't strictly need to have it, because for this stage of the process, He can act as your business manager. Until the contract is signed and the money is handed over, you're not committed to the process. So the moment that the contract is signed and the money is handed over, you're committed to the process. So what does that mean? That means that if you were then to back out and not complete on the purchase by the date specified in the contract, you would lose your deposit. On the other hand, if the developer was not to complete on the contract by the specified date, they would have to pay you double of your deposit back, basically. So obviously both sides are not signing that contract until both are fully conversant and are approving the contract. Once the contract is signed, there will be a completion date at some point in the future, which is negotiable, depending upon what your funding needs are. It could be a couple of weeks later, it could be a month later, it could be a couple of months later. The resort is relatively flexible when it comes to the completion, because obviously there's already been a deposit. It's not as if they desperately need the money 2 weeks later. You know, they're happy to work with your time frame. For the completion must be done in front of a notary in Portugal. So a date is set for that, and then you as the buyer would either need to come over for that completion or provide power of attorney to your lawyer for this stage of the process. And then on that sort of completion date will be the notary, it would be the buyer and the seller all appearing together, or the lawyer representing the buyer. A banker's draft would have been raised. You would have already sent over the balance of the monies. That would have been converted into a bank check, which will be handed over at the deed, and that's be when completion is. There are also some taxes that need to be paid in the purchase of the property, and for a resort like Amendoeira, you're probably talking about roughly 10% of the purchase price is for various taxes and lawyers' fees. So you've got IMT, which is the property transfer tax, which is I think for Amendoeira roughly 6.5%. Then you've got your lawyers' fees, which will range between 1 and 1.5%. You've got your notary fees. You've got your registration fees, which means that when the property is completed, you know, your lawyer needs to register the property in your name, so it's officially yours. And then you've got stamp duty as well. So all of those together for Amendoeira are probably going to be around 10%. Obviously, once you've decided on purchasing the property, your lawyer will be able to quote to you absolutely down to the last euro exactly what your costs are. In Portugal, generally speaking, lawyers are charging you for the purchase of a property based on a percentage of the property, of the property price, regardless of how much or how little work they need to do on your behalf. So you can, you know, you don't need to worry about, you know, involving a lawyer and him charging you per hour. It is a set price, you know, going in exactly what your costs are going to be. And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, how the process works in Portugal.
Amazing.
From beginning to end, from the time that you sort of shake hands on a deal to completion, you know, if you're happy to sort of complete quickly, and you obviously need to go through all of the steps, you're talking about a month. You know, so it's a simple, black and white, fast process, which is, you know, very safe and secure.
Thank you very much, Sasha. Excellent. We're going to pass over to John now, because I think John's back on video. Hiya, John.
How are you? I hope you
Good.
all got testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I'm just down at the sports club now with the gymnasium. What I forgot to mention everything about the condominium is not only do you get everything, the internet, the gardens, the pools, everything cleared, you have free use of the tennis courts, 6 tennis courts, 2 are floodlit, free use of the bar down here, and full use of the most amazing professional gym because a lot of professional football clubs come here because they do the training here. This is my abode. I wouldn't know what to start with, but apparently it's got everything you want, and it's fully fitted, and that comes to everyone's free use when you are an owner of one of the properties here. And as I said, a lot of the Premier League footballers in the UK come here in the outer season to train, and they use the gym. And they've got a full size football pitch, 5-a-side pitch, the tennis courts, and as I said, there's a 9-hole floodlit golf course, pitch and putt, and 2 18-hole golf courses here, which is the Nick Faldo and Christy O'Connor Jr. And those facilities are there, and there's also an enormous clubhouse and a really good driving range. Again, everything is included. Let me take you into the sports bar now. The sports bar has just been all refurbished, and this is actually pretty special. In here you've got the Amendoeira sports bar. Unfortunately, there's no drinks at the bar at the moment, but this gives you an idea. This is their newly decorated sports bar. And the clubhouse, which has got an outside terrace with great vistas, is being refurbished in almost the same style of this. So this will be something to look forward to. And then in the summer months or the winter months, because it's so warm in the Algarve, you've even got the outside area here, so you can go and dine outside. Really great resort. As I said, it's got a mixture of 2-bedroom apartments. There's duplexes, 2-bedroom and 1-bedrooms, with a big bedroom and roof terrace upstairs, and villas, different size villas. I'll show you a villa very shortly. I'll run up there quickly now. I'm going to show you a 3-bedroom villa, and everything here is just top notch. You are just inland from the coast, but you're actually literally 6 kilometres away, so it's not far to go. And the shuttle bus will take you backwards and forwards free of charge in the summer, so that's all taken care of. So what I'll do is I'll hand you back, and then we'll show you the 3-bedroom villa further up. And any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So please come back. I'll see you in a short while. All right.
Excellent. Thank you, John. Looks fantastic.
Yeah, so I think because for £290 for a 2-bedroom property in that resort is just a really good price, I think. So in Lagos, really, you're looking at spending at least £350 for something of that quality for a 2-bed, or even £400. So what's the kind of clientele that you would suggest to buy in this this area? Would you suggest a resident buying here, or would you suggest it as a rental investment, or what kind of age group?
Speaking to me?
Yeah, if you want to help me.
Well, basically, it's for anybody. What's great about the resort is that it's separated out from the town, so it's nice and quiet, but it's central to everything. So, obviously, it's fantastic for golfers, but I think roughly half the people that are purchasing there are not golfers at all. The costs for the golf is separated out. So you're not when you're buying the property and paying the management fees, the condominium fees, they don't have any contribution to the golf. So, there is no financial outlay for the golf. It's an extra that you can sort of, have if you want to. So it's great, great location, nice quiet zone in the country. If you are a sort of a city person and you want to be, walking distance to lots of bars and restaurants, then this isn't the resort. This is for people who have a car. You need a car, even though lots of things are sort of 5 minutes away from you. You can't really sort of walk, to sort of local bars and restaurants. Who is it for? It's basically for anybody who's a golfer, anybody who's looking to use education themselves, wanting to rent it out. It's a great lock up and leave. You've got 24-hour security, so when you're not using the property, it's going to be looked after. And that's the way I would basically describe it.
I think like people who are non-golfers that go to resorts that are like this is a lot to do with the fact that they're always kept to such a nice standard, and it's always like a lot of green around and things like that. So you don't, like you say, you don't have to be a golfer to buy something like that. It suits people to have the manicure and the greenness and the tranquility still.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit different to being in Lagos in an apartment where you're around everything, because although you can get in a Bolt or an Uber, that's what I do because I can't drive. You can go to the bars and restaurants, but you don't feel like you're living on top of people because you've got the lovely views and you've got a lot of space around you. Because when you stand at the top of that resort, you can just see all the golf around you, and it's lovely because we've got a villa near there as well that's for sale, and it's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's great for people who are either golfers or are wanting to chill out. There are a lot of people
in style.
It's a resort. It's a resort. A lot of the unsold units, the developer rents out in the summertime, and a lot of people go there for a week or for 2 weeks, lead very busy lives. They come to the resort, and they never leave the resort. For a week or for 2 weeks. So it's perfect for people who really want to sort of chill out, zone out, and not be bothered with anything. But there are lots of people there that are I don't know, maybe 20% of the development is people who live there full time, or a substantial period of time. So it's really for everybody.
Yeah, I guess for living there, I mean, not everybody wants to just walk to be able to walk somewhere. If you're living there, it's quite central to everything, isn't it? It's like I live in the country, I live further inland than that. And when you first think, like, what's near to you, yeah, there's not much to walk to, but within 5 minutes, I've got the access to so many different places to go to. And that's kind of what you want, a variety. You don't always want to walk to the same place. So, it's a different...
So take an example, if you get in your car, so by the way, what John did mention is that every unit comes with underground car parking space, the apartments, underground car parking space, and also a storage room. So if you were to get in your car, drive outside the resort, within 7 minutes you're at Armação, Pêra, where Steve showed you the beach, which has got, it's a Portuguese town with banks and restaurants and pharmacies and so on. You're 2 minutes away from the motorway. So once you hit that motorway, you can access any part of the Algarve very quickly. If you go underneath the motorway and go onto the 125, which is the A road, which runs parallel across the Algarve, as does the motorway, and you go east for about 7 or 8 minutes, you hit Zumari Marine Park. You go another couple of minutes further, and you hit Agia, which is the piri-piri capital of the world. You go another couple of minutes, and you hit a massive shopping centre with about 150 shops and cinemas and food hall and furniture shops, etc. You go another 5
It's all English, so it's weird when you go past these places in Portugal because you can understand everything. I went there the other day and I was like, oh my God, Zara, H&M, Primark.
Absolutely. You go the other direction. You go west out of the resort along a back road, and within 10 minutes you're in the beautiful old town of Silves, which has got a castle on the hill. It's quite a Portuguese town. It's a great place to hang out. Lots of really nice restaurants. They've got lots of festivals in the summertime. So music festivals. They've even got a medieval festival with jousting and so on in the summertime. So what's great about Amendoeira is that within 15 minutes everything is there. The only sort of negative, I would say, is that you need a car. Yeah. You need a car. I mean, if you're just wanting to stay in the resort, you've got the buses. But if you want to, go further afield, you're going to need a car. Yeah, that's really the only downside, if you like, for the resort. But it just depends upon what kind of place you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, the driveway to the condominium, isn't it? You come out and straight onto the 125.
Yeah, yeah.
So really easy access.
Yeah.
Fantastic location. Have we got John?
Yeah.
Have we got John now?
Let's have a look. Have we got John or have we got Steve? Oh, John's not there. John is coming back, isn't he?
Yes, he's going to show us the villa. Beautiful villas, absolutely
okay.
stunning.
Oh, he's connecting now.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask as well. I think it would be good when you're joining these, because obviously you can send in questions. If you wanted to just put your, what you're looking for, because we want to keep doing these. We're going to do loads more webinars. So if you're looking for a villa or an apartment or a plot of land or whatever, just let us know, because then we can start doing, then we know what to do virtual tours of and webinars about.